What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of Pips and Points. I'm your host Jono, and today we're going to be talking about what we always talk about, the NAS100. And before I do that, I want to give a shout out to all of my Piptonites guys. You're the best. Those awesome people are my subscribers, and I want to say a big shout out to all the new guys that saw the thumbnail and clicked on it and want to see what I got to say about the NAS. Well, hopefully today, guys, I'm not going to disappoint you in regards to my analysis. I aim to deliver the best possible technical analysis I possibly can, okay? In saying that, I'm not a financial advisor, I am not a financial guru, so it is important that you do your own homework, you do your own research based on what it is you've heard in this video, so that you can make the best moves for yourself, all right? It's always better to know how to fish than for someone to go and get you the fish, okay? So, and if you find the content useful in any way, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, drop a comment, leave a like. These things cost you absolutely nothing, but will help me and will help the channel grow and reach more people. So with that said, we're going to get straight into it. So at the moment, in regards to the NAS, my view is this is my view. My view is that I was expecting the NAS to be pulling down a bit more into this range, so I'm just gonna bring up all the drawings that we did. So this particular level is an order block taken from the 21st of well, it's 2021 basically, somewhere in between. Actually, let me zoom in close to be accurate. Can't do it half-assed, so let's just be accurate. So yeah, so this is the order block we've taken off, the order block that we've taken this off, and that was the order block of March 8th 2021. All right, okay, so this order block has been visited so it's been visited twice already, right, after creation, and he's been visited again over here. This is the third time. Now in my opinion, I'm saying the price is going to come even lower into this range, into this order block, right? And this is what I am saying. I'm saying it's done that. It's going to come in here like so, at which point it will be quite good to think about maybe getting an entry, and it might do a little something like this. This is what I am saying. And for now, according to the structure that we're seeing, what I'm saying seems a little bit accurate. According to the structure right now, things could change. Like, believe you me, things could change. What I'm saying, the total opposite could happen. But if what I'm saying does happen, then obviously it's falling in line with my overall strategy, what I'm planning to do, and I will get pretty much the perfect entry into the NAS to ride it to this side up here, right? If it bounced and it comes into the zone area of 12, what is it? Yep, 12759.51 and 12318.25. That's the zone I think the NAS is going to come into. However, the NAS could continue to push up. Why do I say that? Well, because the market is always changing. To trade it, you've got to be dynamic in how you approach the market overall. So if what I'm looking for doesn't appear, that is fine. But however, I've got to know what it is that I'm planning on doing way beforehand before I actually execute it. Hence why I'm looking for orders around this zone over here, and it looks like it's pushing up. Now, another thing that's also important to note as well is that it looks like this is indeed a fractal. Okay, so two things I'm waiting for to happen, and for that I need to go into a lower time frame so I can explain exactly what I'm waiting for to happen before I jump in. All right, so first I can see here a high has been broken, right? So this is on the hourly, so a high, right, according to the MACD. So just make the MACD a little bit bigger. So according to the MACD, the high has been broken. That was this high over here, and this just broke it. This little push to the upside just broke it, and now it's pushing past the structure overall. Okay, And we've had some news today on Forex Factory. So we're going to go into that into a second, right? We're going to go into that into a second, just to see exactly what that news is. And and basically, what I'm thinking might happen. What I'm thinking might happen is that somewhere along this level over here, price might begin to push back. Now, this is to fit my narrative of me basically saying that price is going to come back into this zone over here, and then we're going to pick it up. It's going to continue in this little channel and then come down to this level. However, that could be wrong, but that could happen, right? Now, this is the high that we actually want to see broken, right? If this high breaks, so that is level 1357.1.38. If that high is broken, then essentially price is going to start pulling up. It is retracing back to the upside, and all we're going to wait to see is when it pulls back down again to do the second push to the upside, we're going to catch it. So effectively, it's going to be looking something like this. So it's going to go break this level, right? Come back down somewhere, wherever it lands. Let's just say for the sake of this video, it lands somewhere here, right? We would have seen that, we would have jumped on, and then we ride it up to the upside, okay? And if it comes to this level, there's only one area that we need to be concerned with, right? And that is main areas of consolidation. So the lower it comes down, the better it is for us in terms of grabbing it and how tight we can make our overall stop loss. So in my opinion, I would say something like this, right? I would say something like this, because there's a lot of consolidation going on in this area, right? But however, this is really what is really happening. This whole zone is a massive consolidation, and if you go into the daily, it's going to be a little bit easier to see exactly what I'm trying to say, right? So let's just do it like this. So you can see there's a massive build up in this area. Let me get rid of this. Actually, we don't need that anymore, right? We can see there's a little bit of a build up in this area, right? So that is what more or less I'll be waiting for. I'll be waiting for price to break above this level, right? Break above 1.38. And if it breaks above, like I mean a clean break above, and then it comes back down, then I would aim to jump in, and hopefully I'll catch it somewhere around the bottom to ride it to around this zone somewhere where there's a very high chance price will be pulling back. So just to make it clearer, price breaks above this level, right? Pulls back, aims for this zone somewhere, and then pulls down again. Okay, like this is still a downtrend. This is not an uptrend by in any way, shape, or form. This is a downtrend. But like I've been saying, because I'm biased towards taking bias, because I'm aiming to ride it all the way up to the top side, right? I would only want to catch it when it's pushing up, and then I will then adjust my trailing stop, which I will be using as it nears the top. And if it breaks above the top and doesn't close me out, then we ride it all the way to the upside, okay? And just collect some major pips and major points as we do on pips and points. So that will be the plan. That will be the plan, right? So with that said, we're just going to jump into Forex Factory real quick, just to gauge the overall vibe in regards to fundamentals. So today is the 4th, Wednesday the 4th, and let me refresh, because news have definitely come out today. So we're just going to refresh that, and we're going to see what we got. Okay. All right, let me just adjust all this down a bit. We're only interested in the US. So why is it showing me the euros then? This thing's just so annoying sometimes. Okay, this is April. All right. Let's just cover the whole week. See what's been going on for the whole week. Up to Saturday. Nothing going to show up on Saturday, but we just do it up to Saturday just to cover it. All right. So there's a press conference going on right now. So that we know there's a press conference going on right now. And it's the Fed chair giving a speech, right? So that kind of explains this push, because he's talking right now. It is what, 8:17 in the evening, and he was meant to be giving his speech from around 7:30. So chances are he's still talking whatever he's talking about, and hence why price is pushing up in the way that it is. And prior to that, let's see what else has been going on. So we have the ADP non-farm payroll change today, and it's come out quite positive. No, not positive actually. It's come out quite negative because it was forecast to be 382,000, right? That was what they said, and what's come out is 247,000, right? So it's a little bit less than what they were talking about. The FOMC statement has also been released as well, so that came out at 7. Hence why we're seeing the move that we're seeing right now. So that was in favor of the US economy, and bearing in mind they are planning on increasing interest rates at some point this week, right? So I don't know if it's tomorrow, but I know according to what I've read that it's going to be happening at some point this week. But in Friday's video we go over that a little bit more in greater detail, okay? And then we've got the federal funds rate, the federal funds rate, right? So there's been no change in terms of what they were expecting to happen and what has happened. So we'll take that as a positive, which all explains why the NAS is doing the push to the upside that it's doing right now, which is good, okay? But we still got Friday to deal with. Let me just have a look. We still got Friday to deal with, so there's nothing tomorrow. But Friday is where it's going to be quite important, especially the non-farm payroll. That one is going to be super important for us. So we'll see what happens then. But so far, the news has been good, right? And if you've picked up the NAS at some point, then chances are you're going to be in some profit depending on where you picked it up, right? Depending on where you picked it up. Me personally, I'm not in any position in regards to the NAS at the moment because, like I say, I like to wait for my setup and get in on my setup, which means sometimes I'm going to miss trades. It just happens. That's just how that goes. So we're going to have a look, and as you can see, like I keep telling you why this list is so important, is look, it's all green. So let's see by what degree they're green, just to give us a bit of an understanding as to what are the chances that the NAS is going to try to push to this level. So first things first, we're going to start with Tesla, and Tesla's looking great at the moment. $937. That is a good price, but let's see what happens. So Tesla is pushing up, right? And the shape that it's taking to push up, it's a shape that if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you would know that I'm very big on market structure. And this particular shape that it is producing, the consolidation we've got going on up here, has a very high chance of breaking to the downside. It just does that, okay? So this is looking good, but this doesn't fill me with too much confidence in terms of how it is pushing up. At some point, it's going to break the overall structure and push down, in my opinion. Don't quote me on this, right? Google is also looking good. It's also looking good, but it has a high to break, and that is this high over here. Oh, sorry, let me go all the way back. Let me go all the way back and do that again because we're on the wrong time frame. We need to be on the daily. Okay, so what I said still stands in regards to this particular move for Tesla, right? So that still stands, right? I still think something like this could happen. I still think something like this could happen, right? But don't quote me on that. It could happen, might not happen. We'll see how that goes. We will see how that goes, especially where it is right now. If you look at the MACD, so the MACD is just on the brink of going positive, and the MACD going positive is going to be around this region somewhere, right? And if it is lower than this, then there's a good chance it's going to push down even further and produce a bigger red, just in my opinion, all right? Okay, so when it comes to Google is now doing a push to the upside. It is doing a push to the upside. It does have a big high to break, and that is this level right here, right? It needs to break that level before we even consider Google to be something that we want to jump in on. Well, not jumping on, what's the words I'm looking for? Sorry, I've got all tongue-tied. So Google is pushing up at the moment, okay? This is the high it needs to break for it to be considered an uptrend. But for now, it is pushing up. Now, the question is, will it form a structure down this level somewhere before it goes up? We'll just have to wait and see, especially on Friday, what the news is. What the news is, right? Now let's look at Amazon. Amazon too is forming a structure to say that it too is going to be going down some more. This is it right here. Right? You can see the consolidation happening at the bottom right here, right? So although that's in the green, the structure is kind of leading me to believe that it's going to be pulling down, okay? And then we have Netflix. And Netflix too is consolidating in a formation to say that it's going to break down. Right? It could go all the way up, but it's looking like it's going to break down. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We will keep an eye on it. Okay, now this one is interesting. Apple, where Apple is bouncing off right now, okay, there's a good chance this overall structure right here is going to break. It is going to break. So which basically might mean for me, in regards to the position where I'm thinking of getting the NAS, that this could influence that from happening. So if we jump into the NAS briefly, all right, might not get a pullback. What we might get is we might get a pullback from this level where the mouse is right now, okay, down to about this level, and then a push to test this particular level, or might even be higher, somewhere around here somewhere. All right, and then we'll see what it does. So that's the kind of vibe that Apple's giving me at the moment in regards to what it is that it is doing. Okay, right? So now let's jump into Facebook, and Facebook is rising. It definitely is rising, right? Now the question is it going to rise above 233, or is it going to pull down from 233? So there is a chance over here that we could get a double top that will form based on this move that Facebook is doing, okay? And either way, we've got 2 days, right? So we've got Thursday tomorrow, and then we've got Friday non-farm payroll. Non-farm payroll can unhinge a lot of things in regards to the market. So that day is a very important day for us in regards to how we're going to move about in the NAS, and it's also important for US currency pairs as well, right? So let's look at Microsoft, see what that's doing. Microsoft too is doing major consolidation at this level, right? So it could break down or it could push up, but for the meantime, it looks like it's going up, which is good if we're looking for positions in NAS, but for me personally, it's bad because I want it to push down further so I can get the NAS in the zone where I want it. So let's see how that goes. And then we have Nvidia, and Nvidia has begun the push to the upside, okay? But however, it still needs to go above this high over here. This is the high that needs to be broken for Nvidia to be considered an uptrend. It needs to break this high. Will it? Only time will tell. But however, if it does not break above this level of 225, 225, okay, then chances are it's going to push down further, which leans towards what I'm thinking might happen. All right. And then we have PayPal, and PayPal too is consolidating, and the consolidation of PayPal, let's zoom in on that a little. Okay, so these ones are quite hard to read in my opinion. These ones are quite hard to read in terms of what way it might go in. So let's go into a lower time frame and see what that tells us. Let's go to 4 hours and see what 4 hours is. So it's gone into a little range right now, as you can see. It's gone into a little range. This is what it's doing. It's yet to break above this level. That would be a key level for us in regards to if it breaks above this level, it starts pushing up. But for now, it is just ranging in this zone. It's just ranging in there. Let's look at it on this level. Yep, it's just ranging. Okay, it is just ranging. But however, let's see if it's broken any high so far. So we have a high here, and we have a high here that has been broken, but it's all part of the same MACD pattern. So I normally prefer the highs of a brand new MACD, so which is MACD's gone into a red and it's come back and produced another green zone. So if you can see, this whole situation here is all part of one MACD trend right now, right? So I would say this is the high, in my opinion. For those that would view it differently, that I can understand. I do, but I normally just prefer the MACDs in a nice simple format. It goes up, it goes into the red, that's a high, solid. If it's like it creates couple levels within one frame block, then I consider the highest point of that frame block, so which would be here, as the actual high, supposing to here, right? So we've got a couple levels for PayPal to break before it's considered a high, and overall it's still in a downtrend. So it's kind of leaning towards what I think the NAS is going to do, but we have to wait to see what the NAS actually does do. All right, and Pepsi, if you go into the day, Pepsi has pulled all the way down, and now we're shooting all the way back up again. It's shooting all the way back up again, which means it's about to produce a new higher high. It's about to produce a new higher high, and this particular high, which is over here, it will break once we get a MACD confirming it's a high, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in regards to Pepsi. And then we have EA, which is still in a downtrend, and this is the high that it needs to break for us to consider it is pushing up. And then we have eBay, and eBay is consolidating, but it's consolidating in a way where it will be pushing up at some stage. So this is the kind of consolidation we've got going on with eBay right now. This is it. And the structure like this normally pushes to the upside. So I'm expecting eBay to break at some point. I'm expecting eBay to break at some point to the upside. So then we jump into the NAS, take another look at the NAS, right? And then that will help us assess how I am going to play it. And if you see any opportunities in it in yourself, then you know how you're going to play it too. Okay, so we're just going to adjust these levels a bit. So we're just going to adjust this level so over here so it touches all of that, and we're going to adjust this over here a bit. That's just doing this thing. And we're going to keep it like that, and then we're going to wait to see exactly what happens in the coming days, because the MACD, according to the NAS, is about to go into the green, which means there's a good chance it's going to push up some more, and then it's going to come down some more. Then it's going to come down some more. But this zone, in my opinion, is a place where it will be visiting, right? Don't quote me on this. It's just an opinion. I still think it's going to come to that zone, and I think that even if it does push up, it's not going to go too far up. It's going to come down into that zone at some point, and at that point will be a great time to jump in. But however, you have to do your own assessment and do your own homework to make sure everything I said makes sense to you. All right, so guys, if you found the content in this video useful in any way, shape or form, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification, drop a like, leave a comment. All these things will cost you absolutely nothing, but it will help the channel. And most importantly, because you found the content useful, whenever I release videos, you'll be amongst the first to see it. So you can actually jump in and see what I'm saying because it is time sensitive. Like literally, I record it on a day, I edit on a day, and I post up in a day. So depending on how fast you react to it, chances are there's not going to be that much of a bigger change in the market from when you see it. With that said, guys, I want to thank you for coming over and watching another episode of Pips and Points. I truly appreciate you, okay? And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be on Friday, where we're going to talk about what we always talk about, which is the NAS100. So until then, my awesome Pip tonight and my awesome you guys, this is Jono signing out, and I'll see you in the next video.